The draw rate. The most insane pick you've ever seen. The draw rate. Now, come on. Really? We're going to risk a draw on this one. The elimination game 3.
Draw's a risky pick.
I think it is. I think as soon as you first pick that draw, everyone knows what you're going to do.
Not first pick. Yeah. Probably not first pick. But
okay.
We could see some interesting heroes start to fall through too, because I think the bans for this this series for me have been one of the most peculiar. Just the change-ups, right? We're seeing like Leshrac change priority, Doom, and Razor even too, right? We've just seen a lot of shifts from. We do tend to see that of very like team-specific bans, but this one, I could see some of these heroes just slipping through now this time. You could just be like, hey, let's just let them all. Let's let a couple more through and see what happens.
Sure. Both these teams have taken that risk before, right? They've let these really big heroes slip through. God, you don't seem to be buying it. I'm watching your face right now. You're not feeling it. You're not buying letting these big boys get through.
It's like Game 3 elimination. You don't want to go too crazy with your draft. I think Vici Gaming especially is a team that normally sticks to their formula. RTK is a drafter. I mean, even when you go back to when he was a player, is always a guy who normally built a formula, had a certain hero pool they like to play, and would stick to it. So I think it's far less likely with Vici Gaming that we see anything crazy.
Sure.
Liquid, you never really know with some of their players. But you know, Game 3 elimination, teams are going to be playing very safe.
Absolutely. How do you feel about how'd that sniper go? We hyped it up in Game 1, didn't pick it. Game 2, they did pick it, still didn't win. You think the sniper did a good enough job?
It got made awkward, right? The Brood pick, because then he can't lane mid. He has to play off-lane sniper, right? So he's playing like a different kind of duty in the game. So it just felt a little strange, you know, because you're not this like level 6 super early on sniper. You're playing side lane. So it changes the whole dynamic of the hero in the early game.
And yeah, we talked about how his farm was a little bit behind where some of the other cores, and I think a big part of that is being in the side lane.
Okay, there we go. And as you can see, clean pores on those players. They're taking care of each other. Not a speck of dirt on that player's arm. These guys, they wash, they clean, they moisturize. You can tell.
It's important.
It is. For some. I don't moisturize.
What? Moisturizing is definitely important.
For what?
But you get makeup on. You definitely should be moisturized.
Well, I mean, the makeup artist puts moisture on me, but that's the only time moisture ever touched my
Moisture
face.
going on is not moisturizing.
What?
Splashing water on your face does not count as moisturizing. Sucks. And I know
okay, I'm not being sarcastic. What do you mean? Because it adds moisture. That's the whole point. Okay. We'll get into it.
We'll educate you, yeah, during the next game.
I could definitely use some beauty tips from you two, gentlemen. But we'll get to that later as we start to see the players now starting to enter the lobby and get this going. We were talking a little bit about forced to be awkward there, Fonged. I feel like I do that a lot to you. Force you to be awkward. What's the most awkward you've been in an esports event?
I think I'm just always a little awkward, dude.
No.
I'm just a Dota nerd.
That's not true.
You're surrounded by other Dota nerds. Like,
yeah,
being nerdy about Dota, you're in good company.
It's true. What if you put me in the most awkward? I don't know. Definitely somewhere at Dream League, honestly. It always happens.
I think the most awkward I've ever been in any Dota event was during the All-Star match, where one of the people that I asked, pick what hero you'd like, and he said Dendi, and then Eternal Envy came. And then I
remember that.
I brutally said, I don't know why I said it, but I was like, not you, no one wants you. And I waved them away, and Envy's face, it was not good.
I watched that on YouTube, fails of Dota or something. I was one of them. It was you and
Yikes,
a lot of you.
Reno.
A lot of you,
actually. Well, not me. Just I'm at a lot of events. There's no correlation between awkward moments and me, I can assure you. God.
Not buying that, I'll tell you that.
What are you talking about, bro? Oh, any big mistakes in an event that you've regretted? What sticks in your head?
I think the most awkward was the first TI I went to. Bruno and I were sitting on the panel, and this was, the first time they'd done TI themselves, Valve, because TI1 was done in Germany. And for some reason, they had this idea that during a pause in the middle of a game, like 10 minutes into a game, they wanted to cut back to the panel. So the panelists, James and Nebula, the other two panelists, had just wandered off, get some food, watch the games backstage, and me and Bruno sitting in the panel, and suddenly we're live, middle of, I don't remember who's playing, and we're just on camera, we look at each other like, what the hell? We have our headsets, like, production's like, put your headsets on, talk, and Bruno and I just looked at like, what do we say? What do we do? This is my first big Dota event in my life.
Oh, God. Cringe.
And Bruno tries to give me a high five, and I don't notice. It was...
All right, I will share one more, since it looks like the players are taking their time. The first time I met one of the owners, I believe CEO of Valve, Eric Johnson. He's a very serious guy. He's a very good man, strong man. Came over, extended his hand, and he said to me, you know, pleasure to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. And I went over, I grabbed it, and I went like this, and I went, hey, Mr. Johnson. Looked me in the eyes, and he said that was awkward, and he walked away. And he wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the event. It was one of the most horrifying things that has ever happened to me.
I actually remember mine. I'm not going to say it, though. So.
Don't say it. If you're watching, though, buddy, please. We can be homies. Just let me know. Yikes. Anyway, let's take it back to Dota so we can all be comfortable again. Now that we've cleansed that cringe away and talk about this Elimination series. Back here at the Major, we have got Team Liquid looking like they are getting pretty serious here, boys. A lot of smiles in the first couple of drafts. No longer. This is brutal time. How do you think their new boys doing, by the way? Mr. Heen, no longer with the squad, I believe?
Yeah, our man seems to be, I mean, it's different, right? It's a different, he just brings some different ideas. They're just still finding, it still seems like they're kind of finding their footing because like they were talking about, they haven't gotten to play with their whole roster at every single tournament. It's been a tough year. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, it is a very intense moment here. But, I don't know. VG seemed kind of confident. I don't think you have too much to be sad about with that last draft. That one didn't really hurt, in my opinion, Gods.
Yeah, you can sometimes chalk it up a little bit to the 10th pick Brood. I think the fear for Vici is that they are still a somewhat young team. They've got a lot of young, inexperienced players on their roster, so you have to be kind of, tread carefully if you're Coach RTK. Don't put too much pressure on them. Focus on just being in the right mindset, going into Game 3. Vici Gaming, to me, has looked like the slightly stronger team, at least maybe 55-45. I'd give them an edge going into Game 3, but they need to get a solid draft and not let the nerves get to them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I noticed was like in this one, the change between Fade and DY a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Fade was playing for Nature's Prophet, but he didn't get off to that like overwhelming control that he did in the game yesterday.
Sure.
So this time we saw them, they were kind of splitting farm. DY had an Aether Lens, he had a Ghost Scepter, so they didn't have your traditional 4 and 5 in this game. So I think maybe that's what I would see them go back to a little bit more, just have that straight up staple.
Sure, I think they got a lot of their comfort picks in that first series, and that worked extremely well. I'm sure Liquid still is thinking about that, but I'm wondering if they're going to be impacted really at all in Game 2 based on their picks against Vici Gaming, or if they're really going to focus on stopping those Game 1 picks, those big disruptors, those big Shadow Shamans.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they start the draft, because I imagine Liquid will somewhat be like, okay, we won with the 10th pick Brood. We can't expect that in Game 3. You get one of those normally in a best of 3. They had one against EG. They've had one here against Vici. That Brood, if they're going to pull it out, needs to come earlier, and I don't think you can really pick this hero too early in the draft. So we're probably not seeing another Brood game.
I wouldn't say about that. That's the most, as a techies player, that's the most unexpected thing to do, is exactly the same thing that you did last time.
But I think that hero is just like Parker was saying. You have to last pick it. There's just too many heroes that can just absolutely ruin it. Ember is an okay one in the laning phase because you saw like Paparazzi did the kill, but it's not one of those that you just dominate the matchup. There's heroes that just dominate it, like Kunkka in particular.
Sure, absolutely. Kunkka, I miss that hero, man. It'd be good to see him again.
He's got a nerf, so he's a little bit different, but I mean that matchup is still painful.
Absolutely. The team's taking their sweet time. Of course, this is all on the line. I will remind you one more time, Elimination Series at the Major. Liquid need to win this game to ensure that they are going to the International. Granted, they're probably going to go anyway. I'm not going to overhype you people, but I will say it would help them out a lot. Whereas Vici Gaming already secured ROTK, looking for those big notes right here.
With Liquid, it's always something to be said. You talk about their rough year. It's like this is the 4th major of 5 of the year. We're almost approaching TI. You want to go into TI with at least some confidence that you've had a few good tournaments throughout the year. I mean, it hasn't been all a failure for Liquid. They did win, I think, one of the smaller lands in Moscow at one point, one of the non-DPC events, but you want more than just that. You want to prove yourselves against the best, the Vici Gamings, the VPs, the EGs, and get, a top 2, top 3 finish at either here or at the next major.
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm not sure there is someone that is better than Vici Gaming. Maybe Team Secret, but having somebody like that first series of the day, LGD was so dominant, these guys absolutely destroyed them. It was ridiculous. So Team Liquid, indeed, if they can pull a win out from this one, do know that they can take down some of the biggest dogs in Dota. So, boys, what more is there to say before we get into this draft?
I'm just wondering, like what we're gonna see with Drow. That's really what it comes down to.
Drow, I'm trying to keep this conversation interesting.
I know.
No one's here about
But
the
it's just
Drow.
like the Drow Deuce. I think there's still the potential, especially when it's an elimination in your best of 3. There's the potential for the Drow Deuce. There's a higher potential for the Mag PAs to come out as well.
Back to basics, essentially.
Yeah,
It's like,
back to basics. Give yourself these like a little bit easier to play like team fights. Sure, it's like these teams don't really need it because they are so dominant. We saw Vici even when they had like not that great a team fight, they were able to get these pickoffs constantly in the last game. But I think just being able to take those team fights, even having like the one that can rally you together, can really change it.
Oh, here we go.
We're all
I'm feeling it.
hype. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Team Liquid starting to get that fire in the booth. That's what I'm looking. Oh, audience members, how are we doing there? Yes, you're on the screen, Mr. Beautiful Beard Man. Let us see your face. Oh, that's what I'm after. And you there, sir. Oh, don't look at the screen. Don't tell your friend he's on the screen. He doesn't realize it yet. Oh, he does know, but he's not smiling. He's a cool guy. I can understand that. Something about Europe. They want to look cool. Not me. I'd be freaking out. But anyway, gentlemen.
That's always.
Never.
Never.
I'm a calm host, I believe, personally. Do we still have heroes that are real cheese? I'm talking Huskar Dazzles. I'm talking, you know, hello, young man. Earplugs in. I don't blame you. Many people do that. Don't I saw you trying to dab there, young man. You stay. Don't you do it. All right. Oh, my goodness gracious. Fainted from the touch. The reverse Sleeping Beauty. Thank you very much, everybody in the crowd, for coming out here today. But, yeah, any chance we could see the Mega Cheese? Huskar Dazzle kind of stuff, you know?
Unlikely. I think that these teams are... I don't think we'll get to see that twice in a series. Like, they just did the Brood. I don't think it's very likely. I mean, it all depends on who's last pick as well. But I don't think that's not a Vici thing. They're not going to... I mean, even though I say that, and they actually have brooded at the last major as the last pick, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah, the possibility's there, and it's going to be the back of the mind of some players, but you're also like Game 3 elimination. Do you really want to go out with such a crazy, risky strategy? You're not going to feel good if you completely fumble up your draft.
Yeah. So let's see. The biggest ones that we have to look out from the meta. Morphling didn't really make an appearance in this one.
He's getting banned. He got banned both games, right?
Yeah.
The hero they gave them last game, they may want to remove is the Sand King. I think that was banned game 1. It slipped through game 2. It's just such a reliable stun initiator.
And they showed that they can actually switch it up a little bit, right? It was GH farming in this game. GH was the one playing in the bottom lane as a Sand King, and Mind Control was the one jungling as the Enigma, so they did change the dynamic a little bit of the way they wanted to play it. So yeah, Sand King sounds good. Just like this team fighter that's also strong in lane.
I mean, Sand King's always good. Everybody's picking Sand King. Almost every game. It's ban, it's pick. What makes it so... I mean, it's just a team fight and a stun.
Team fight, that's good in lane. Yeah, he pushes out lane. Sandstorm got buffed significantly as well. Epicenter is still a little bit underwhelming sometimes overall, but the nature of the hero is just still... Yeah, you're an instant stun with long-distance initiation and high magic damage.
All right, well, we've heard some news that there's a little bit of some connectivity issues, but we'll be getting into this game as soon as possible. Don't you worry for this big moment here. Of course, we're just kind of keep the hype up. That's it. It's just the game 3. We're actually doing it on purpose. The longer we can keep you guys excited, the better. Hello there. Nice crowd. That's very nice. Now, you don't have to wave guy in the blue shirt. Don't worry about it. We're not excited about it. It's fine. Everyone else waved but that man in the blue shirt. It's all good. He literally didn't. Okay, sold me out. Thank you, man. I will see you later. Hey, we got a game 3 going on. Get off your phone.
She's doing
Under your lipstick.
Pressure's on now.
The pressure's on. Lipstick did not go on before the camera got to me. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. So, gents, let's tell some more esports stories. What do you got for me?
When I first met you. That was also at that one that I think you went to get dinner with Maud.
That is correct. ESL New York.
ESL New York, what, 2014, 13, 14?
That's correct.
One of those.
What was that experience like?
Well, we lost miserably. I only had 3 of my teammates there.
Oh, right. You were a player.
Yeah, I was a player. And we were playing against newly formed Team Secret with the dominant Team Secret of Kuroki, Puppy, Fly, that whole crew. And that was a tough one.
North American Rejects?
Yeah, after we had booted half our players and were scraping to get anybody. Was Boba playing with us at that? I think Boba might have played with us.
I think Moo was playing with you as well.
Moo?
Wait.
I never played with Moo.
Oh, that's right. He was on that Hearthstone streamer guy's game. Or team.
Later on, he went to Archon, yeah.
Right. Oh, hey, PDA over here. No, oh, wow, that's too much.
Not Disney friendly. Come
Listen,
on,
I
kids.
know we're in France, but put that French kissing away here, you animals. Goodness. Anyway, I remember the first time I met Gons. I was actually hired for the summit as a driver.
Before you were qualified to host.
That is correct.
Do content.
How's it feel now, you idiot? You hired me to drive, and now I'm hosting.
How the power dynamic has changed.
That was a good one. They hired me as a driver. I begged them to let me make any kind of content, and God's give me a chance. Hello, OG. Still in there. Oh, and looking pretty good there, yeah? You think they're going to make it? He does. They're still in, right?
They'll make it till tomorrow, win or lose.
Come on, God. So, yeah, I think let's talk about some other teams since we're waiting for these guys to get in there. We've made it. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We have a draft. Welcome.
That switch up. All right, you play against this. The Enigma was annoying. Change something up. That means another hero is probably going to get left out into the pool here.
Absolutely. And, they think the pro players are good. Talking about good panelists. That was a nice fill, boy. We did a great job. Shout out to us.
We got embarrassing
filling?
stories.
I didn't realize that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
I thought that was intended.
That was absolutely intended. Every time the camera was off me, I was screaming at the producers, hold the players.
They ban both. They take out the Sand King and the Enigma. So, yeah, Hero's going to go through.
It's like they beat the Doom. They also have first pick. So I think Vici Gaming really do rate that Doom very highly. It's one of Yang's best heroes. So.
Yeah. Now it's like, do you ban Doom? Then we maybe take the NP. Maybe they switch it up a little bit too. Maybe they... Because then also Razor's going to be left in the pool as well now, which has been banned every single time in this series so far.
I'm a little spooked, boys. I still see Shaman available. I still see that Disruptor available. Team Liquid really focusing on these meta picks. I mean, Leshrac, of course, has been banned often, but we have not seen it yet in the hands of anybody this series.
The other hero that Vici perhaps surprisingly banned in the second game was the Lone Druid. Matu obviously very well known for it, but it's not really considered a first stage pick, but his best hero is something that Liquid could always pull out.
Do they Shaman or NP? It's the NP.
NP. I think that's a great pick for just Vici Gaming in general because not only is he the best support one of them in the game, but having two players that are very good. Flex pick for them for Yang and for Fade, but there we go.
You also don't give it to Liquid too, right? It's
sure.
Like just taking NP. You don't want to give that to MC or to Kuro.
GH Earthshaker, boys. Need I say anything else? Single-handedly, in some cases, winning them games, and now we're going to see that as well. Seems like go ahead.
Similar team fight and control as the last game we just saw.
Yep, and they seem to do very well with that. Jakiro seems to just be an insta-lock pick against a Nature's Prophet now. Is that it? You see an MP, you pick a Jakiro, and things turn out okay, Gons?
Definitely, to some extent. I think it's because of the Nature's Prophet. I also just feels like the go-to 5 position in some ways for Liquid. I think often 5 position heroes is about what your team is most comfortable on, what you feel fits your style.
It does provide you like quite a lot, right? It helps you in the lane a lot. It gives you team fight. It gives you control, and it gives you some like objective taking as well. Liquid Fire, not only just like for towers, but also for Roche. Like it all does add up.
Yep. So we're seeing the next pick being thought about here. Again, only with these teams we've really seen this big focus on support, on roamers. Every other team is picking out their carries in this first couple of picks here.
Can you Rubik early?
No. The olden days of second pick counter Rubik. I mean, Jakiro is pretty hard countered by Rubik, right? I mean, he's really good at his skills, but no, they'll go with the line.
With their guns. Same thing as they did last time. All right.
Wow, didn't they lose that game? That's probably not a good idea.
Well, the Enigma Shaker, Sand King are gone. So 2 of the heroes the two opening picks from Liquid are gone. Yes,
big changes without that Enigma coming through.
Still choosing to take out that Lone Druid.
Understandable. And the Brewmaster actually getting knocked out as well.
With the Lone Druid ban makes a lot of sense to me because they're just so unfamiliar with versing it. Most of the teams in their region, in China, are not Lone Druid teams. So you go to these big international events and you haven't got to play against Lone Druid much. You're just not going to be in your comfort zone when you're versing Matu and Team Liquid.
I think after the display of the first game, I think banning Brewmaster versus Yang is going to become a bigger priority for most teams that play versus Vici. He's proven so many times how good he is on that hero.
All right, guys, I got something for you to talk about. It was a surprise pick in one of Vici Gaming's games, Shadow Fiend. Any chance we could be seeing a Shadow Fiend surprise pick coming out for Vici in this series?
They did end up losing that one, though.
They did. But it was a surprise that they lost.
It's not. Yeah, it's one of these heroes where it comes out to like a brood where it's like, oh, surprise, this hero just came out. What do you do? It's like, okay, they just picked this SF. You know what it's going to do. It's not something you have to counter directly in game or you lose. It's just like kind of a situational hero that can be good. But to me, there's typically better mids that can do SF's job a little bit better. Like I'd rather see like the frontline Necrophos, which just sits there, is unkillable, has the heals, because a lot of these SFs are going for the Greaves type build anyways.
Viper is going to be banned out. Another Matumba ban, respect ban. We see from Vici Gaming, don't want to deal with that, even though they seem to handle that pretty well in game 1.
I think you want, for Vici, I don't know if you want to pick it for here, but I think you want some type of just BKB building core. Just someone that gets a BKB early on, because right now you look at Liquid and Shaker Jakiro are completely countered by this. Liquid are actually just going to third take the Dusa.
They did that. They banned Sniper and picked it instantly. They were very quick with that duo.
Uh-oh, we're starting to see some smiles coming out from Liquid. Now, we do see that Medusa picked up first, and I have to remind you guys, Drow Ranger, still available.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the three you look at, right? AM, Drow, Morphling, probably. Unless they want to go for something like Mag PA, but...
No, last time we did see that Dusa get picked up, there was a AM ban coming from that team to make sure that AM couldn't counter it. Not this time, so it is an option.
It has a Magnus.
Magnus.
I have a feeling it could be the Mag PA or the Mag AM.
Mag Troll even is an option as well that we used to see a lot of times. So
Don't like it as much, though.
yeah.
The AM Deuce is an interesting one because it's not like a straight up AM counters Deuce these days anymore. With the Mystic Snake talent, you're able to burn the AM's mana pool. We're also seeing the Deuce itemization shift such that you just don't go for all these super heavy stat items that boost up your mana pool. So you can just kind of hold your ground and right click the AM.
So I'm really, really interested in who you guys think is going to be this Magnus combo. You said you instantly dismissed the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, I think AM or PA they just suit so much better.
I see. PA, right pick against these kind of lineups, though? I mean, they have a pretty good amount of magical damage to hit her with.
But you're a BKB player.
Yeah, I like the
That's the big thing.
PA a lot because of the BKB timing.
I see.
Shaker and Jakiro do nothing against the BKB PA. You still need a mid that can be like a secondary damage dealer to help deal with the Medusa, but it gives you a very open pool to draft from for your final pick.
Well, they do have time to pick something here in, guessing that one of those two are going to be coming out. Maybe something that could slow down that BKB timing, something extremely aggressive.
Yeah, what are they looking for? They've got a Shaker +1, so Mind Control will have that Fissure to help his lane a bit.
Necro.
Could Necro, yep. The Bat Rider is also a possibility. I always like Bat Rider against those, like, there's this BKB core that you need to deal with. You've got Lasso. You can just pick him off and go on him.
Tide jumped in my head for a second, too, just because it's versus Magnus, but that's a little bit different. I think I like the Necrophos. Oh, Necro or Bat look pretty solid.
Didn't Mind Control go through a spell where he was playing a lot of Omni Knight? Wasn't that a time? Or am I mistaken on that one?
He was. It's been a while.
It's been a bit. But
I think
hey,
that was old, maybe even old Omni.
Old boy Omni, I believe so.
And they did play it versus the Magnus as well.
Indeed.
They did. He
The
would run
Magnus
into the
PA.
RPs.
You see? Razor.
Forgot about Razor because, yeah, it's been first banned.
And
there it is, as predicted.
Yeah, I think that was pretty likely. They need a BKB hero.
Yep.
Yeah, with Magnus.
And Vici really, really love this combo in clutch situations. We saw this a lot at the Dream League Major, where they're pulling out this Magnus PA in Game 3s, making sure they can lock that bad boy down. But does Razor impact that at all? I mean, do you really get too much of a link time on somebody like PA?
Not necessarily. She just blows people up too quickly often. So the Razor versus PA is not really going to cause PA to be completely mitigated in a fight. But if you're jumping on the PA and you get the link off before the fight starts, then yeah, she doesn't feel like she can BKB and turn and fight because she's already lost damage. So PA needs to be the one getting the jump in.
So
Razor overall farms super fast too. So if you do get really far ahead in the early game, early laning phase, you get your early level 20, you get a Shiva's, then you are like a beast. You've got this super high amount of armor, and then maybe you can deal with it. But you have to be ahead. If you start falling behind at all, then PA is going to just you know, eat you.
Being behind as Razor is one of the worst feelings in Dota 2, I think. I mean, it feels like you can literally do nothing. And from what I'm seeing from this Team Liquid draft, a little bit of greed here. If they don't do well on Razor, don't do well on Medusa, who could they do well on? I mean, it's kind of rough then.
Yeah, and they don't have that hero really to create space right now. Like, Shaker can help the lanes and make plays happen, but once the lane stage is over, who's moving around the map? Both Razor and Deuce are going to want to keep farming. Maybe you try push a tower when you get your siege creeps out, but this last pick is probably where they're going to get that from.
Sure.
The Ori hero. I think something like I don't know why I'm thinking something like a Queen of Pain, something aggressive, but I feel like that's not really the right. I mean, for just the Razor, it makes sense, but over the nature of the game doesn't sound good. And they probably want something else that can actually scale.
Maybe a Storm game even? Storm looks all right to me.
So what are we looking for on Team Liquid? And we need a mid on Team Vici Gaming, right?
We need something for Ori to bring it all together.
Oh, really, all they need is a space-creating mid, right? You just need to make sure that PA doesn't get pressured too much, gets that BKB out. So, Conka! We talked about it. Here it is.
That's Ori's one of his top heroes that he used to play so much of.
Now, no one's picking this, though, because he got the Tidebringer got nerfed, right? Not as good mid anymore.
Yep.
So, what makes it different in this game, boys?
It's not really necessarily different. It's more just they're going back to a comfort pick. It is a hero that still lanes well and gives them some big team fight.
Yeah.
The damage mitigation from the Coco's Rum against Medusa in a fight means she's not only, well, Medusa, you can't really kill her, but she's doing no damage during that time.
Crazy team fight gives them, yeah, like you said, like a little bit more damage mitigation. And also, late game Kunkka is still, that talent is pretty crazy how much extra. The cleave is 60% extra. If you do get to that point with a Magnus in power, if you can make it late game, that can still be quite a big threat. And now this gives them a lot more catch.
Yeah, they didn't really have that good hero to start fights with. Like, your Lion's a 5, so you're not expecting a blink there. Magnus is not a good team fight starter, and there we go.
When's the last time you've seen that, boys?
Now they've got a Vision hero on Liquid.
Enough to make space, though, for that greedy lineup on the Beastmaster.
And that gives them some good vision. And the vision you're mentioning allows them to get the actual jump. So if you can see the PA, get a roar on her, start the fight with a static link before she jumps on you, goes a long way.
This game could all be about just initiation, right? Like if the Mag gets a good jump, the fight could just instantly end. If Liquid catches the Magnus, the whole entire tide of the fight could change. So, ooh.
Gents, I need predictions. Hard predictions. Game 3. One of these teams is going home from the Dota 2 major. Who's taking this one?
I'm going to give Liquid the slight edge with their draft. I think the Medusa's looked really solid, and it's always been considered one of those heroes that matches up. Like, when Mag PA was a thing, that's when Medusa kind of came into the meta, as this hero that could survive the RP, stone gaze, and turn a fight around.
All right. Fogged?
I'm really split 50-50 on this one, to be honest with you. I like both drafts quite a bit. It just, I always have trouble going against Medusa, but I always have trouble against Mag PA. I don't know. I'm really split.
Okay, well, you know what? The time for guessing is over. Will the Kunkka of the Caribbean be taking this match? Or will Vici Gaming find a way? Wait a minute. I think he was on, well, whatever. Capitalism Blitz, walk me through this one.
It's a good thing that we're your guides for this game and not Slacks. That's right, we've got Game 3 here for Vici Gaming and Team Liquid. And it seems like, given the way this series has gone so far, Blitz, it seems a little weird saying this, but Vici Gaming, after all, last time, Dream League, they placed out of Major, they got first, they won the minor before that. Meanwhile, Team Liquid have yet to be able to place a strong showing here. If they go out here, it'd be 7th, 8th. Game 3 starts now.
Team Liquid contre Vici Gaming. Game 3.
The crowd is hyped for our first Game 3 of the day. And you really couldn't ask for, I mean, I would ask it of the first series, but we're going to get here in the second one, Vici against Liquid. The series has panned out so far, Blitz, that Vici Gaming, I mean, the very first game, Vici felt like they dominated that first game.
It was like 38-10 or something.
Yeah, there was seemed like no question Liquid was going to be able to make it. Liquid in Game 2, they had a surprise pick Brute Mother, and it was close. So I feel like Vici Gaming, especially given what they've done so far in the DPC system, does have the favorite here.
Oh yeah.
But is the draft that way?
I think that Game 1, Vici just,
Whoa, what is that? He just roll up into the high ground, but he's going to be able to get the skewer down. Unfortunately, he pulled Matumba Man with him, and that is looking to be your first blood. Is Matamba Man? Oh no, he's not in range. Fade so fast with his boots first. He's good. He's out.
Decent attempt there, but Fade. I don't think as a forward position mag, you love having skewer level 1, right? That's kind of like the whole Rubik conundrum where if you, somebody once told me like, if you skill lift level 1 on Rubik, you're ruining games.
Okay, but it's not that bad, right?
No.
He's a boots first.
It's not as bad as that
Yeah.
one, but it just doesn't feel good because I think what you wanted to do on this Magnus was just sit back, empower, pull creep waves, but it's fine overall. Not giving up first blood and forcing Liquid to show themselves like that, I think is an okay move. But yes, I agree with you. I think that Vici is heavily favored in this series because I felt like Liquid outdrafted them quite badly in game number 2, and the game number 1 draft was like 60-40. They got stomped. Yeah. Game number 2, they surprised last pick.
GH missed the Fisher block. So because of that, they missed the first blood, and they also end up missing out on a bounty rune here as DY does manage to get 2 at bottom.
Yeah. But game number 2 should have been over like real quick, but
Yeah.
Vici, I think, just outskilled them for like 20 minutes.
So what about the draft here going into game 3? Because I'm siding with Liquid on this one. I don't know about you.
You like the Dusa?
I just not sure. When I saw the mag and I look at this Medusa pickup, and I'm like, are they really going to go mag PA? It goes into a Medusa. It is also now into a Razor as well. You've got a Beastmaster, which I think was a great last pick, which helps enable the Medusa a lot.
I actually really like the PA. Like me and Owen backstage, as soon as we saw the mag, we both called the PA. We really wanted to see it. I think it's a good answer to a lot of Liquid's heroes. I don't really know if they have the burst damage for her either. Like once she gets BKB, even if she gets roared up, I think she just kind of does what she wants this game.
Do you not feel like the heroes on the side of Liquid, like there's a lot of good counters to PA?
Like there is and there isn't. Like the Razor's not bad because you steal damage from her, but she also just like jumps in bursts. I need Mind Control to have a good game. Like if you want Liquid to win this game, you need Mind Control to have a good game because I feel like the last 2 games he was really underwhelming. Yeah. Last game is Enigma. He didn't have a single counter aside from like the Bat Rider coming in at an angle, and he still struggled. Game number 1, we didn't feel his presence at all in the Doom. And frankly, I think that Yang has just been outplaying him in this series.
Yeah, Yang played like a monster in that last game, but oh, the skewer up into the high ground. Fade. Say see you later.
That's why you get
out of here.
I guess that's why you get skewer. One is Matamba Man. The best part about this now for Vici is that Matamba Man was forced to use the TP.
Yep.
And so now if they make the switch back again, there's nothing that Matamba Man can do about it. So if I'm the PA right now,
You just TP.
just TP out.
Yeah.
Fade has put you into an unwinnable position with that. That was so sick.
Very nicely done. It looks like Vici Gamer are finally going to get the lanes that they wanted all along. Which
And look
is
at this.
the
Yang's
PA
gonna get
away from the Razor.
He's gonna get all of these creeps for free, and they can't kill him from this too. So he's gonna get his like level 4 off the bat. The same thing is gonna happen to Mind Control, but he's still only level 1.
Great Fisher block there from GH. Impale to follow it up. They are turning on a GH, but not going to be able to finish him off unless they want to dive this tower. They are going to do so, but the healing salve goes up from GH.
Oh no, Paparazzi!
Paparazzi's going to die instead. You needed Mind Control to have a good game. If Liquid wanted to win this, well, he gets the first blood. Uh-oh, that's going to be troublesome. Miracles, that's a double damage. Kunkka with Fate showing up with the skewer back as well. Ori ready to go with the big swing. Miracles slowed down. He's just walking straight into the tower, knowing that he can't escape. He didn't want to give the full hero bounty straight to Ori, but it happens anyway.
Yeah, and Fade making that level 1 skewer, really maximizing it. That was the most effective 3 minutes of Magnus play that a level 1 Magnus can possibly, like that's the most impact. I don't know what else he can do.
Okay, the PA smoked and Ratho all the way down here, and it's now going to show up on top of the Beastmaster. Mind Control's like, man, I thought I got the lanes right, but no. He's going to be caught here, skewered back once again by Fade. The Boars try and go for the kill on DY, but he knows.
All right, Fade's insane.
Walk away.
He has had quite the series so far.
And now he's finally got the Empower. He's picked up so many kills for the team, and he finally picks up level 2. So now he can do even more work in the laning phase.
I think for Liquid, Deuce's going to get farmed. It's just what Deuce does, but I think their side lanes seem to go really well for them to have a chance in this game.
He didn't go 1-1-1.
No.
Aren't you supposed to against a Furion? Otherwise, he's just going to do that over and over again. He's just going to TP away and then teleport back in.
And Ori throws out the X with no torrent follow-up. As Miracle, with that kill, not having the easiest of times. Just going to deny that Invis rune. Not really helpful to him. It's not even worth going down there, but look at this rotation.
Another rotation coming into mid lane. The smoke appears and DY shows himself. Now the Medusa's relatively tanky, but it looks like this is going to be so much damage unless GH can save him here. There is the X, but no, the TP gets canceled. Now Miracle has no help in the mid lane and will end up dying.
Did Fade
a great
skewer?
play. Fade definitely skewered to stop that TP.
Oh
Fade
my.
does it again, and now Paparazzi being gone under the bottom lane is going to be able to try and juke this out, but the board stay on top of him. He can't get away. Liquid pick up a counter kill here, 3-2. DY should be able to get back to the shrine just fine here, unless Kuro really wants to force him to use it.
What's the bounty rune split?
GH gonna be able to grab 2, and they couldn't secure the top lane, so that is gonna be Liquid picking up 3 this time. 29 and 12. Because the constant rotations into mid lane, this Kunkka is having an amazing game.
Yeah, and Miracle really needed that backup. I think he just assumes that with the Earthshaker Fissure, he should be perfectly fine and he can continue to play aggressively. But such nice play by Fade in this early few minutes. As they're going to make the rotation in again.
They're going to go for Miracle again. They just don't stop.
They've got both this time.
There's no TPs coming in. This time around, they do have the extra bit of boat damage. Miracle's made much squishier because of that. Even DY shows up. Everyone from Vici Gaming is making a go at Miracle here. And Liquid, they need to formulate some sort of response here. GH is going to be able to find DY, gets a really good Fissure block and a body block as well into the trees, so DY has to run the other direction. Kuro can help him get this kill. Pump faking it, finally. Gonna let go of the Ice Path soon, I'm sure, as he needs to be able to catch DY, and he does manage to get it. Another round of Enchant Totems. GH tries to close the gap, doesn't quite get it, but can just run down DY eventually with the boots advantage.
Not the worst trade-off, but definitely not one that you want to see. Is they lose Miracle once again, and this Kunkka can just get out of control. This is the way that Vici love to play this. They want to have one catch hero at all times, some sort of disruptor, some sort of Bat Rider, some sort of Kunkka, so they could always follow up on the kills.
Yeah.
They're making sure that if Liquid get out of position, people are dying guaranteed, as
The
Ori.
Only just now coming up. Ori may have to use it here if they still want to catch GH. Wrath of Nature comes out as well.
He's just going to finish up the camp.
And yeah, take that hard camp stack.
Make sure that nobody from Liquid gets it. It's 4-3. Very close game, but slight advantage to Vici as their mid laner is just going off right now.
Liquid, the trade-off is that they do have a Razor that's being able to free farm the top lane. But Furin's still getting a decent amount of CS. He's rotated around the map and still 31-7.
Yeah, for Vici, such an important game. Just to be able to wash out that loss to NIP, who I think is a lot better than teams give credit for. And for Liquid, also a very important game, not just to move on in the tournament, but to prove to people they can win without their Broodmother.
Yeah.
They can win without their Viper.
Well, they certainly didn't prove the Viper one in game 1. Miracle going to be caught on, looks like 5-6 times, but this time around, Liquid does have a response, and that response is going to be Matumba Man. They do manage to get the Fissure onto Ori. Matumba Man will run down the captain. Miracle's still in trouble, though, but they're controlling up Yang long enough that Miracle will be able to get some vengeance. They just kept pressuring him, kept taking it to him, and this time, Vici Gaming overstepped themselves.
Dusa is always going to be much tankier than you give her credit for. Even with early levels of Mana Shield, it like effectively doubles their health.
And Miracle doesn't really miss much of a beat this time around. He survives, and they had the Shrine available to him, so...
And that's why I don't love that Vici continues to go at him. They've slowed down his game enough, but it is a Dusa. She will just split shot farm and catch up. So I'd like them to focus more on this bottom lane.
Absolutely, that's where they're going to go for it. Mind Control should be dead here. The Magic Wand definitely helps out a lot, but Paparazzi can keep on chasing.
And they do get that kill, and they needed that.